right, class.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you should have three things. Pencil, hold it up. Article. Okay, and then a piece of paper. Great. All right, put it all down. So this is going to be a target lesson, so it's going to be short and sweet. So, eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
What are a few things we are having roadblocks with? Tell your partner. Based on this week, what are we having some roadblocks with? Go ahead. Alright, class.
Yes, it is.
Some roadblocks, some things we're kind of working through. Sai, what's one?
We thought text structures were text features.
Yeah, we're confusing the text structure and text feature. And text structure is, do we have those few examples? Description,
Sequence,
Sequence,
solution,
And compare and contrast.
yes. So those five, how they structure the text, right? And then he said we're confusing it with text features, and text features are things like headings, captions, pictures,
subheadings.
okay, subheadings, glossary. Those help us better understand the text. All right, so we're confusing those two things, so we need to read carefully. Isaac,
Putting the I and D, like putting it on a, like right. Doing right.
okay, so transferring our tied to our writing to say more about it, right? Yes, we're working through it though. Jack?
Making our I follow the what?
Making sure that the I follows the what. Good job. That's a really good one, right? That's your guide. So if the I didn't go with the what, we need to revamp the I. Correct? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, that's how you can kind of self-check. Okay, anybody else want to add a roadblock? Carmen?
When you pick something like a title and then you can't write a full sentence to it.
Okay, so she is saying make sure when we pick those I's, those important informations, right? Important information that we can later write on or do a this shows, right? And detailed examination, because sometimes we're picking information that we couldn't really say much about. So if we're having that problem, it might be the right answer, but it might not be something that we know more in depth, okay? All right, so we're going to hold up with the rest. Those are really good kind of self-reflections, right? That's great. So here's what we're going to do. To kind of work on all of our roadblocks and things that we've been circulating throughout writing this week, we are going to reread this, which you guys have already read it. And it was about Colette, right? Who is writing to her cousin in America about the Statue of Liberty being put together. Correct? Thumbs up, thumbs down? We got that. Okay. So I am only going to focus on I and D. That's it. I'm going to model that for you. I'm going to ask you to maybe do a little partner work, but it's going to be quick. Okay. So you've read it. And then what text structure did we say this was in? Tell your partner if you remember from yesterday. Okay, so everybody said sequence. Does anybody remember why we said it was sequence? Raise your hand. Elise?
Because it tells us when they happen, like January 5th, 1880.
Okay, so the author was providing things like dates.
It says false, next,
Yeah, so they have some signal words. Good job, Cruz. Okay, and then anything else that maybe is not as obvious as those signal words. What else is there, Jack?
It said, they had to have like, they use like, then this, they put this on it.
Okay, you want to add to that, Leah?
You're telling us in order how they made the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, so they're talking about the process of how the Statue of Liberty was made, because, right, it was made as this tiny, like, 4-foot model, and then, you know, the end product was huge, right? Okay, good. All right, so I made a little prompt here. So I'm going to read it to you. Identify the text structure the author used in the text building liberty. It just says to use paragraphs 10 through 14, which you've already read. So I would like you to do what with your partner. So go ahead and do that if you did not get to finish it. Write the T-chart, do what, and discuss with your partner. Go ahead. All right, class.
Yes.
What's the do?
Good.
Good. And what's the what?
Text structure.
Good. And you said the text structure was sequence. Okay, so I have my little, sorry, it's kind of squished up here. Do what? And I'm going to put sequence here. So I know my eyes must show what? Sequence. It has to do with sequence. Great. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to model to you. I'm going to model how to find the eye and put the eye into tide. Okay?
Okay.
If I get time, I will go along with D also. Okay?
Okay.
So Jack says I need to use the what as a guide when I'm doing tide. When I'm doing I, right? I'm not worried about T. I'm not putting T in here right now. I'm only going to do I. And then I'm going to do D. And maybe if I get time, I'll keep going, okay? All right, my first I. So when I read through this, what do you think I picked that went with the text structure sequence? Talk to your partner. So I know some of you were saying first. Yes. So first he did what? Raise your hand. I heard a lot of good evidence in there. And I like how you're talking about it in order, right? So we're going to take these eyes in order. First he did what, Cruz?
He made a little statue out of clay.
Great. So do you want to use the first that he was using first, or you want to do the 4-foot clay thing?
4-foot clay.
Okay, the 4-foot clay model. Okay. So I like that because a lot of times, you guys can put your hands down. A lot of times we just quickly go to those signal words, and I like that we're looking deeper into the text and seeing that into the process. So I'm going to look here. Here it is. And I'm going to put first as my signal word. That way, or I'm sorry, my transition. That way I don't forget it. And hands on top. You don't have to write any of this, okay? And then I'm going to put down what Cruz said, and which a lot of you said. 4-foot model. And that's all I'm writing. And then I'm going to put P11 to stand for paragraph 11. So when I go to my writing, I can expand. Everybody do it. Yeah, I can expand on what I'm saying. Great. Okay, and I'm going to leave it at that for right now. Well, actually, what am I forgetting? Goodness. What am I forgetting to do?
You're forgetting to
Well, what's next after I? E. Okay, so this shows. So talk to your partner. Help me. What does this show?
This shows how the fish.
Class.
Yes.
So, what does this show? Raise your hand because we have a lot of great answers in here. Bentley?
It shows how big it is.
Okay, so big it is as in what do you mean by that? Anybody want to extend off what Bentley said? Jacqueline?
It shows that how big it was because he made a model to represent how big it was.
So the starting point,
Yes,
right? We want to be careful with big, right? So I understand that you're saying how big it was, but you're actually saying how it started, which is in that it was small compared to what it ends up as, right? Okay, so we want to make sure we're clear about that. Let me put starts small. It started small. Okay? All right, let's try another eye. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, try another eye. Just from that section, try another eye.
Then, another eye. Then the song has another one that he made for walking from broken chains. Then he made her walking away from broken chains.
Alright, class.
Yes.
I heard some great answers in the back. Chloe?
First they started like a small statue, but then they turned it into like a big one.
Okay, and what do you mean by that? Can you give me some direct evidence from the text? You can look at that paragraph. Do you want me to come back to you? Okay, Jack?
Then she made her walking away from broken chains. So you can do that in drum talk. Walking away. Broken chains.
Okay, so we
Or
have
walking away
then.
chains. Then
Okay.
walking away from
What
chains.
what else do we have? Isaac?
He kept making it bigger and bigger until he had one that was 38 feet tall.
Right. I think that is a really important point to make. So we do have lots of pieces of text evidence, but remember we really want to hone in and pick the best that's going to get our point across. It's really going to show, look at this and look at this process. Okay, so Cruz said next as a transition word, so I'm going to borrow that from him. And then Isaac said that was paragraph 12?
Yeah.
Okay, just so I can come back to it. Bigger and bigger, right?
Right.
Bigger and bigger. Now remember, you don't have to write everything down, just enough for you to remember, and you can come back to it and reread it because we're citing the little paragraph numbers, right? Okay, so last part here. This shows what? This shows what? Go ahead and talk to your partner. Class.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All these little target lessons are working because you guys are impressing me. Okay, so this shows what? This shows some different hands. I know everybody's really excited about this. Eleanor? Okay, maybe want to add on to that too? That's not a bad answer. We're going to just keep adding to it. Spencer? Yeah, so it started small and got bigger. So that change over time, right? Until it reached the final product. That's great. So, change over time. Okay? Feel pretty good about that?
Yep.
Okay, so what we'll do tomorrow is, tomorrow is we'll take this and we'll practice going piece by piece into W, which is our right, say more about it, because that was the second part of the roadblock you guys said we have, and we're going to unblock it tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Great.